Welcome to Seasoned. I'm Marysol Castro.
And I'm Chef Plum. We are live today, Marysol. It's so fun.
Hello, Plum.
I can see you.
I know. I can see you. I could almost touch you if you weren't 10 feet away from me.
Well, that's true. And this massive brick wall we have in front of us.
I know it's true. We're socially distanced. We're being very responsible hosts.
Of course we are. Of course we are. And you know what else is responsible to me?
What?
Takeout food.
I love takeout food.
Because I think it supports the restaurants. It supports me. Mm-hmm. It supports the business. Did I mention it supports me?
No. Does it support you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I can't get enough.
In case you were wondering, today's episode is all about takeout. You have your favorite mom and pop shop. You have your favorite, perhaps, chain shop. Chances are, whatever it was, it kept you somewhat sane during the pandemic.
I mean, listen, it's kind of like that taste of what life used to be, you know? It brings us back to, hey, we can still eventually get somewhere again.
Right. And I bet we learned a lot about the takeout we chose over the past almost year.
Absolutely. I think that what happens is that people learn different ways to do, to make the process better for each restaurant, I think the tricky part has been, though, for a lot of places is you maintain great service, but you lose a little hint of that hospitality.
A tiny, tiny bit. But I bet we're going to hear from some of our listeners.
I hope so.
So we're going to ask you, what was your favorite takeout? What is your favorite takeout? Shout it out from the mountaintops and call us. We're live, 888-720-9677. That's 888-720-WNPR.
And there's no wrong answers here, Marysol. Like, it can be pizza. It can say, hey, I love the burgers. Or if you went crazy, I got a beautiful filet with great truffles and a porcini sauce. Like, whatever you got takeout, let us know. Let us know where it came from. We can't wait to hear it.
We absolutely can't. And, we would not be able to do this without some help from our friends.
We got to have experts when we're doing these things, aren't we?
Yes, because I'm an expert on eating, not an expert on takeout.
The good news is that we do have an expert with us, don't we?
Yes, we do. Her name is Leeanne Griffin. She's a food and consumer reporter for Hearst Connecticut Media. She covered the food and restaurant beat in the States for more than a decade, previously for the Hartford Courant. Leeanne, bienvenidos a Seasoned.
Hello, how are you?
Fantastic. It's great to hear your voice. It's great to talk to you. I can't wait to dig into some of the expertise and knowledge that you have from years of doing this.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We heard from a lot of our followers on Instagram that there are tons and tons of shout outs. We're going to get to them a little bit later. But I wanted to actually dive into you, Leeanne, because you are a resident expert. And a couple of weeks ago, we actually talked to some chefs and restaurant owners around the state that are kind of in survival. Not kind of. They are absolutely in survival mode. And what's the other side of this? We know that you speak to chefs. So what are your boots on the ground? What are you hearing?
Yeah, it is survival mode. And I think winter was the season that everybody was worrying about. The restaurants had a really good summer. We had a lot of good weather. So with minimal rain and some expanded outdoor seating, some restaurants like in West Hartford Center were doing quite well because they had tables that were placed in parking lots and parking spaces and stuff. So everybody was afraid of losing that extra outdoor seating. So takeout has again become a very big thing. People were nervous because there's been was a surge again in the fall. People got nervous about seeing the rise in case numbers. And so my understanding is that takeout has become the norm again, almost like it was in March through May.
People are just finding a way to, like I said in the open here, it's getting that sense of being back to when this all happened, before this all happened, like getting that feeling of comfort of, getting my favorite restaurant food, but still getting it at home. Like I said, it's a great way to support the restaurants and still have amazing food.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leeanne, I wonder which of the folks that you've spoken to, who has said, you know what, we have figured it out. This wasn't part of our plan, but we figured it out. We can't necessarily have people inside, but we have curbside. So I wonder who you've spoken to who feels like we got this.
There are a lot of people, I think, that had to, by restaurants by nature, they had to be nimble, they had to be creative. And when the surge happened again in the fall, they realized, okay, we've figured out how to either cut down our menus or package things for takeout that are better for families. Bar Taco was one I spoke to recently, and they had a taco kit that they kind of winnowed down and made smaller portions for people that were couples through, I don't know, enough for 4 or 6 people, where before they had a lot of catering, larger numbers. And so they worked really hard on that, and they realized that this was going to take them through permanently. This wasn't just going to be a pandemic thing.
Oh, yeah. No, Leeanne, I was just talking to Plum that the Bar Taco in Westport knows its customer base because they did the to-go margarita pitchers.
Amazing.
as part of their to-go packages. But hang on, Leanne. I think we have a caller. Yes,
We
Plum?
do. As a matter of fact, we got Steve from Cromwell. Steve, how are you?
Hey, doing great today. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Great.
What restaurant shout out you got for us?
I'm going to shout out Carbone's Prime in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. So they not only have great food, but they figured out indoors and their takeout as well. You get great service right from the ante room without having to go in the restaurant, and they got some nice takeout options, packages like you were talking about with Bar Taco. And so they've done a great job getting us through the pandemic. So shout out to Carbone's Prime.
And that's Chef Xavier Santiago, I believe, correct?
I don't know.
Yes, that is him.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, we appreciate it, Steve. Thank you. Make sure you guys check out Carbone Prime if you haven't yet, for sure. Yeah, that's one of those places. It's seeing how restaurants change, how they adapt, restaurant people are people of adaptation. You got to do what works for you. Find out how you can make people happy, and that's what they did there.
Yeah, I think, early on when we first started this program, we spoke to Tyler Anderson, and he's fine dining. And I remember speaking to him back in June, and he was like, I am suddenly taking my fine dining and making it to go.
Right.
And he figured it out.
I mean, absolutely. Hey, Leanne, how many places did you see take their fine dining cuisine like that and make it takeout?
Tyler, I'm glad you brought him up because I feel like he has done the most adaptation I have seen of pretty much anyone in the state. You've probably seen what he did with his outdoor takeout.
Oh, yeah.
His outdoor seating with the greenhouses and and that was one of the few meals I've eaten at a restaurant sit down.
Me too.
Yeah. It's a special occasion. It's nice.
It really is. And I can remember speaking to him before they were, when they were trying to figure out how we're going to make the outdoor space work. And he said, I have igloos. And I was like, Chef, you are out of your mind. Who has an igloo? Now everyone's got those igloos.
It's a thing now. It's a thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the part that I kind of want to, I say it all the time, whether it's in just conversations with friends or other chefs. Restaurants they're making things safe. I mean, they really, truly are. Don't be afraid to go eat out. Even having to convince my wife of that these days. I'm like, honey, come on, stop. You know we can go eat out.
Yeah. I think we have another caller.
We do. As a matter of fact, we have Jordan from Southington. He's got a nice shout out for us. Jordan, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I am fantastic. Marysol, have you ever heard of a place called Wawa Kitchen?
Wawa Kitchen.
Yeah.
I have not, but I like the sound of it.
Jordan's going to tell us all about it.
Oh my God. It's the cutest little Chinese place. It's tucked behind the old movie theater in Berlin off of Route 9.
Oh, fun.
Oh,
They make literally everything I've had from there is perfect. They make the best dumplings, the best chicken, and they have a unique dish that I've never seen anywhere else. It's the fried wontons and garlic sauce.
what?
And so if you've ever,
Okay, hold on.
oh my God. If you've ever had J. Timothy's dirty wings,
Wow.
it's essentially dirty wontons. Oh my God, it's so good.
Wawa's what? I'm writing this
This
down.
sounds amazing. Wawa Kitchen
There-
in Berlin, right?
Yeah.
Wawa. Shout out to Wawa Kitchen in Berlin. I'm familiar with the area because I went to Wesleyan, so we
You
used
know
to
it well.
pop in and out of Berlin.
Hey, Jordan, you gave us something we definitely got to check out. We appreciate your time. Thank you. Leanne, you ever heard of that
I'm
place?
putting that on my list.
Yeah. I mean, are you kidding
No,
me?
I've never heard of it, but now I think I need to go.
That sounds amazing.
And I also think we do have a caller, but I also think that was Jordan who just called us.
Yeah, Jordan.
To her point, I think in the pandemic when we were trying to figure out where we're going to eat, we uncovered places we wouldn't have normally gone to.
Good point.
Which,
Like trying new things,
Yeah.
places you would see on the corner. Like, I've never been there.
I've never been there, and now suddenly I love this Peruvian spot, and I had no idea how delicious
What
it
a
was.
great idea. What
Yeah.
a great, just try something new like that. I mean,
Right.
yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And hey, we want to hear from you guys as well. You can give us a call here, 888-720-9677 or 888-720-WNPR. Tell us your favorite takeout spots, like our friend Lisa here from Westport. Lisa, good afternoon. How are you?
Hi.
How are you? We hear you've got some favorites down there.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we really like, my kids and I really like Mama Chow's in Westport. They have
Mama
great
Chow's.
ramen and pho, and they have really, really good hot oil dumplings that are spectacular.
Fantastic.
Wow. Okay, that's a new one for me too. That's going on my list. I haven't been
Mama
there.
Chow's is delicious. It's on the Westport Fairfield border, and they've got a fried chicken situation there that is also delicious. Lisa, I detect an Irish accent. Are you coming to us by way of Dublin?
A little bit of an Irish accent.
I hear it too. Good for you. I didn't hear it at first. There it is.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love getting these new restaurants I haven't heard of.
Mama
I've never,
Chow.
yeah, am I out of the loop on this one?
You definitely got to go. I went pre-pandemic. It was divine.
Wow.
And I'm sure it's still divine. Yeah.
Leeanne, have you been there?
No, but that's in my new coverage area, so this is also going on my list.
There's a lot there going on there, huh?
Your list is getting longer and longer, but tell us some of your favorites.
So I live up north. I live in East Windsor, so I am sort of in the Vernon, Manchester, Enfield region. So we don't stray too far from home, but I have some favorites up there. There is a fantastic, authentic Mexican place called Serapes. Ooh. It's in Enfield, and that's where I found birria tacos, where I'm now obsessed with those. I know they're all over Instagram. This is a big social media thing, but it's the beef tacos where the beef is stewed, and then there's the broth on the side, and you dip the taco in the broth.
My daughter's been asking me to make those.
Wait, hold on. Is this a new thing that I don't know about?
Big social media.
I don't know that it's new, but yeah, new for social media, I think.
Well, a new for me. What
Sounds
is this,
delicious.
a taco that you dip in a sauce?
In like a broth, yeah, it's amazing.
Holy smokes. By the way, if you're just joining us, we are joined by Leeanne Griffin. She's the food and consumer reporter for Hearst Connecticut Magazine. She's covered the food and restaurant beat in the state for more than a decade. Previously, for the Hartford Courant, you are bestowing upon us all of your wisdom, which we love and appreciate.
Leeanne, what was one of your go-to takeout spots during this whole pandemic?
I really like, there's a Szechuan place in Vernon called Szechuan Pepper. And so was kind of looking for exciting, hot, spicy food. And so they have, someone mentioned hot oil dumplings. I think it was Mama Chow's. They have a wontons and red chili oil that I go crazy for.
Come on.
I love those. And then nearby is my favorite Indian place, which is Utsav, also in Vernon. So I was kind of going for, I think a lot of people were going for comfort food because you're home, everything is scary, you can't really go out. So there was no health food for several months, just baking bread and kind of taking solace in the best food around you. So we stuck really close to home for a while, but then once we felt a little more comfortable going out, I would kind of travel for takeout. I liked, once I discovered Parkville Market in Hartford, which now has about 20 different vendors under one roof. It's this brand new food hall. You'd go and you'd kind of get something from every little space. So you'd have they have a Jamaican place, there's a Puerto Rican spot, there's a hot chicken spot, and so I kind of go and make myself a little buffet from different
That's the way to do it.
vendor spots. Yeah. And then one place I loved when I was based in Hartford was El Pollo Guapo, which is kind of a Spanish-style rotisserie chicken place, and they have 3 different locations: Hartford, Wethersfield, and Glastonbury, and that was our go-to lunch spot at the
handsome
Current.
chicken.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, exactly. And so they have phenomenal marinated rotisserie chicken and all kinds of sides. The yellow rice. There's Brussels sprouts. They do salads. They do rice bowls. They do empanadas. They do desserts. They're set up for takeout, so that was a good place to go to because they knew how to handle large order takeouts.
You know, when you said handsome chicken, Marysol, I wasn't sure if you were just giving me a new nickname.
Well, that might be your new stage name. You're listening to Seasoned with the Handsome Chicken and me.
Hey, we've got Sherry calling from New Fairfield. Sherry, how are you this afternoon?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We are fantastic.
Fantastic.
You got a great spot for us to check out.
Well, I'm so thrilled you're doing this because I'm afraid we're going to lose some of the small places.
Yeah.
And there's a sleeper place that's been around for a little while. It's called Biagio's, and it's right off the Merritt Parkway at the Sikorsky airport exit. And they make the most fantastic foods. They're Italian mostly. But, I mean, who uses clothespins when they make a salad and clip it to a glass of wine with a piece of bacon on it? I mean,
That's great.
it's a young chef. He's so fun. He's just great. You get the best service there when they come back. But he's got an outdoor kind of area that he can use. But right now it's almost all takeout. And everybody who knows him is afraid they're going to lose him because, you know, it's hard to make it in this time. So
Biagio's in Stratford. We got to check it out. Get our clothespin with bacon and wine. I love it.
Love it.
I love it.
Order
it is
two.
fantastic.
Thanks, Sherry.
Thanks for doing this. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
There she goes. It's so great to hear these places. There's so many restaurants in our state, Leeanne. You can't keep track of all of them. I think I didn't realize till I started working in this realm of food here how many different places there were.
There are a ton, and we're going to get to them so quickly. So if you are listening, we are live. Call us and shout out your favorite takeout. The number is 888-720-9677. We are joined by Leeanne Griffin. She's going to bestow upon us her wisdom on the takeout situation in the Nutmeg State. You're listening to Season. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Seasons. I'm Marysol Castro.
And I'm Chef Plum, and we're live talking about great takeout in the state. Leeanne Griffin, food and consumer reporter for Hearst Media Connecticut. Leanne's been eating her way all across the state and writing about it for over a decade, Marysol.
I know. I love it. And we're lucky that she's joining us.
We are very lucky that she's joining us, for sure.
So, Leeanne, you know, at the top of the show, we were talking about traditional takeout. There are lots of non-traditional ways that we've seen takeout rear itself. What have you seen? You know, I know in New York there's subscription dinners, there have been supper clubs. What have you noticed here in Connecticut?
There's some of that too. One of the first things I noticed in the first few weeks in the kind of that late March realm was restaurants coming together and doing kits right away. So they were doing, a lot of people were starting with family meals, so they would have larger portions of things and salad and bread, and depending on what the cuisine was, for a family of 4 or so. And then doing kits, which were more like cupcake decorating, donut decorating, pizza dough for the kids to make their own pizzas, things that were a little more interactive, realizing that people were going to be home for a while, that it was going to be more of a fun, you know, let's try to break up the boredom situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that worked out well. And from what I've seen, I just wrote something on kits again for Hearst, and people have picked them up a little bit again, because again, we're kind of at home a little more than we were in the summer.
Right.
You know, the kits were definitely a great option for family-style food, but I still think, you know, it just gave more takeout options, I think, is what was great about it. And Dave in New Britain has got a great option for us, too. Dave, welcome to Season. How are you?
First time. Great to be here.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Welcome.
Thanks. My place is called Bird Coat on Park Road in West Hartford. They have the best Nashville hot chicken ever. It's so good. You have to check it out.
Hey, and for those who don't know, Nashville hot chicken is
Honey
exactly what
child.
it sounds like. Yeah, I mean, you're talking, just lights you up to where you start having weird emotions. You start seeing things, hallucinating about the food. Leanne, you ever had Nashville hot chicken?
Yes, and I love Bird Code.
Oh,
I was there a little before Christmas, and I actually really like the hot chicken place at Parkville Market, Foul Play.
Oh.
They're both. I'm more of a like medium at most kind of person, but it's addictive, and I'm actually looking to have some soon.
Wow, that's a great idea. And Marnie is checking in with us down in Westport. Hey, Marnie, welcome to Season. How are you?
Hi, good, thanks. Thanks so much for this awesome topic for today, because I think it's so important for everybody to get new ideas for takeout.
Absolutely.
I never did takeout before the pandemic, and now it's over the past 10 months, it's totally saved me from, you know, culinary boredom and cooking myself. So my kids also thank you.
So, Marnie, what are some of your favorite places that you want to shout out?
I love the lobster rolls from Matchburger Lobster.
Of course.
Obviously.
Shout out to Matt Storch.
Much love.
Yeah, Matt Storch is amazing. And then I love Bonda in Fairfield in Greenfield Hills section. It's owned by a local chef owner, and their fried chicken is legendary. People line up for it at the farmer's market and then order it from the restaurant. It's so good, and it even travels really well. And I also love their chicken laksa and their grilled romaine salad. It sounds super simple, but they have this yummy caper vinaigrette that is another thing to die for. Love it.
Marnie, are you secretly living in Chef's kitchen over there? You seem to know the ingredients quite well.
That's great. Thanks, Marnie.
Thanks, Marn.
It's awesome when you have people calling in and telling you menu items. Yeah. That means it's made an impact on them. Mm-hmm. I think that's the coolest thing ever. Leanne, I also feel like fried chicken is making a massive comeback right now in our state.
Yep, absolutely. There's another thing coming to West Hartford. It's the former Hartford Baking Company.
Oh, yeah.
And they're opening Citizen Chicken and Donuts with Van Herd from Hell's Kitchen.
Right.
And I can't wait to get my hands on that either.
Oh, my goodness. But I think also, too, to your points, one of you said this, that it was about comfort. I said you, I pointed to Plum, but I could also be conceivably pointing to you, Leanne.
Both of us.
It's both of you. But the comfort food, and I think fried chicken, at least for me, is very comforting. So it would make sense that fried chicken is definitely having a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to really quick throw a shout out, because we threw it out on our Instagram at CT Public on Instagram. We have someone, Hartford Wanderlust, on our Instagram, shouted out the beef dumplings from Sunbury Cafe and the black bean burger from Agave Grill. And, of course, the key lime martini. I love when people throw out a cocktail.
A dish, right.
You got to have that. A key lime martini from Salud. I mean, we love people who get specific about that. It makes me so happy.
Well, they take their food seriously, as well they should.
Listen, it's been my job for 25 years. You have to take it seriously, you know. Hey, Amy's got a great spot to shout out for us here. She's in Portland. Amy, welcome to Season. How are you?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
We're excited to talk to you. So what do you got going on out there in Portland?
Well, I've been home now researching all this takeout stuff. I've been home recovering from a surgery for a few months, so I've had lots of time to think about these things.
Wow. Yeah. How about that?
And well worth the drive from here is a lovely place called Maharaja. It's in Mansfield, Connecticut.
Ooh.
And it is amazing, and so many vegan and vegetarian options. And it's so good. It feels like you're in someone's kitchen. You know, it's just lovely.
Maharaja on the list. We're making a giant whiteboard.
You have no idea. I have it's like a crossword puzzle here.
I love it.
Of
Amy.
names.
Oh, it's the best. Me and my kids crave it sometimes. It's so good.
Wow, I look forward to tasting that one too. Amy, good luck recovering from the surgery.
Yeah.
Stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you down the road. Again, that's another restaurant I haven't heard of. Leeanne, you ever heard of that one?
No, but that's kind of on my end of the river. So
Okay.
that would be closer for me to get to than Portland. So
Okay.
I'm going to put that one on my list too.
Yeah.
I'm making a list on my own.
It's unbelievable. We're going to have to cross-reference these things.
I know, and we got to put that. We should maybe alphabetize them or something. I don't know.
It makes no difference to me.
I don't know. Ethan is in New Haven. Ethan, what do you got for us, buddy?
Oh, first off, thank you so much for doing this segment. I think it's really important to be supporting small businesses and restaurants in this time. And I've got two for you, coincidentally on the same corner in New Haven, right on Edward and State. The first is August. They're like an upscale wine bar. And they have a new grab-and-go menu that's been, like, keeping me alive. Andrew, the chef there, is an absolute wizard. And I know a lot of people have been, like, craving that kind of date night feel when we can't go out to a restaurant in these times, and they've been really able to help bring that experience home with like a nice wine and a meat and cheese plate. And then right across the street from them is Tavern on State. And
of course.
Love.
I know, right?
Love
They
Emily and what
transitioned to
she's doing there.
Emily is amazing. And they were doing family style meals during the pandemic. I know it's just me and my fiance at home, but we were able to get through family style meals for a couple days, doing those like adult Capri Suns.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Takeout mixed drinks. And then I know your other callers have been talking about fried chicken, and their fried chicken sandwich out there is just absolutely outrageous.
Love it.
Best in the area.
Great tips, Ethan. We appreciate that.
Thank you,
Hey,
Ethan.
I got to figure out, what do I got to do to have someone refer to me as a wizard in the kitchen?
Honey, I don't know. Let me noodle on it.
I got to figure that out. That'd be a great thing to be called. I mean, what a compliment that is.
The wizard. You know, Leanne, at this, when Ethan was just talking about Tavern on State here in New Haven, and Emily Mangrone and all the wonderful things she's doing, the other thing I observed about restaurateurs and chefs and owners is that they were creating pantries or little like offshoots, and that's something that Emily did. She did provisions on State, a couple of doors down.
Right.
And so, what is your observation of that? You know, do you know if that's been lucrative, or if it's helped not only the chefs but also the communities around them? Because I know local people in New Haven are like, oh, I went and I didn't go to a meal, but I went to provisions and I picked up a steak and I made it for dinner.
Still supporting them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Those are some good examples of who's doing that. And you also mentioned Matt Storch, and I talked to him last week for another story, and he has the match provisions.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he said that kind of carried him through because, you know, it's a more fine dining restaurant, so takeout isn't as easy as some other places. But he said that people really took advantage of that in the early months of the pandemic.
Yeah. Friend of the show, John Brennan, Olives and Oil, he did the same thing. He opened up almost like a grocery store situation, which was, I mean, whatever it takes, right?
Yep.
Hey, we've got Karen calling us from Middletown. Karen, welcome to Season. How are you?
Yeah, hi. Hi, you guys. It's great to listen to you. I actually went to Tavern on State by accident.
A happy accident.
Week, it was a really happy accident, and I'm calling because I'm a vegan.
Okay.
And so I feel like someone needs to talk about vegan takeout in the midst of all the chicken.
Do it, lady, do it.
So, I mean, I just have a love affair with Ion Restaurant in Middletown, where like at least once a week I eat the homemade cheeseburger there, which is, you know, I love like the Beyond Burger and all that, but the vegan burger at Ion is made from beets
and sunflower seeds.
Oh.
And it's just, the people who work there are all vegan, and they make the most amazing creative specials and menu items. So if you want to do some plant-based comfort food and like amazing desserts. So it's kind of a shout out to Ion on Main Street Milk, as well as Three Girls Vegan Creamery in Guilford.
Oh.
Those are going to go on the list. I sometimes like to eat vegan food. That's got to go on the list, too.
Yeah.
Hey, from Rocky Hill, Barbara's calling. She's got a great shout-out for us. Barbara, welcome to Seasoned.
Well, thank you for taking my call, too. So I'm going to mention Chuck's in Rocky Hill. 50 years, still strong and going. And what I love is that they turned on a dime. They that fabulous salad bar they had, they turned into making new salads to include on the menu. And the steaks, everything else wonderful. Never miss Catie's desserts. But I wanted to mention that it's always good, and sometimes we forget when you're doing takeout, you still need to tip those people because they are working hard inside.
Absolutely. Preach,
that,
Barbara. You're my favorite so far. Barbara's Nick Call of the Day for saying that to me. That's what she's getting.
Well, I'll remember that. I'll tell my family. I'm sure they'll be impressed.
Thanks, Barbara. Hey, and you guys, you can also jump here with us and talk to us and tell us your favorite takeout food in the state. Our number is 888-720-9677 or 888-720-WNPR.
I'm looking at this list of all the restaurants that I need to go to. I was just thinking about my family's favorite takeout has become Don Memo. Bill Tavey in Westport. Yeah. He actually opened during the pandemic, and everyone was like, "You're out of your mind opening up a restaurant." But he did that thing where he was like, "You know what? I'm going to give you the family pack.
Yeah.
And for a few extra bucks, I'll give you the paloma too." And it was the individual stuff.
Beautiful.
You shook it at home, and I had it for dinner on a Tuesday and lunch on a Wednesday.
Hey, anytime you can multi-use the meal, that's fantastic for me. Let's squeeze in two more shout-outs from our Instagram at CT Public. You got a shout-out from our friend, so I'm going to mess up her name. I'm going to mess up her name. I'll do the best I can. So Brian4444 gave a shout-out to El Cazador Taqueria, which is a taco delivery service. That sounds amazing.
Sounds delish.
I mean, we could do that now. We should get an app on my phone or something. I can just have them bring it to the house. And, of course, our friend Elmbrenner writes, my aging parents adore 2 Hopewell Bistro and Tavern in South Glastonbury. She says she can't wait to eat there in person again. And with them, for now, we'll enjoy gourmet dinners or takeout boxes at home. Leanne, any of those places familiar to you?
Yes. 2 Hopewell is a really nice place in South Glastonbury, and they also own Sayulita.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of half across the street. And the Bean House, and also in Glastonbury. So some other really nice options.
Wow. We got to take another call. I feel bad. Kaylee's been on hold with us for 9 minutes, and she's in the car. Kaylee, welcome to Season. Sorry to keep you on hold so long.
Hi, thank you. It was nice to listen to all the new restaurants that I haven't heard of.
It's going to make a long list for all of us to have to try these new places here.
Oh, absolutely. A long list to hit this year.
I love it. What do you recommend for us?
Coyote Flaco in Mansfield. It's an authentic Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
The Skinny Coyote, for those of you who are Spanish speakers.
That's Flaco. Oh, yeah, it took me a second. I got it. What dish do you like there?
My personal favorite is the chili relleno, which is a stuffed pepper.
Delicious.
Yummy.
With a tomatillo enchilada sauce over it.
Okay, listen. You had to do me a favor, Kaylee. You're driving the car, and you just keep your eyes on the road talking about all this food, okay? I'm afraid you're going to start daydreaming. I can't have that.
I know. I'm over here drooling about it, thinking already.
Hey, thanks, Kaylee. Drive safe.
Sure.
I mean, literally, this list is getting longer and longer by the minute. Leanne, are you taking notes, too? Because I think we're all going to have a group eat-out session here.
100%.
Well, you've got 2 in Mansfield right there. You've got Coyote Flaco and Maharaja.
Yeah.
Can you hit them all in one trip?
All in one trip. That'd be fantastic. Let's go to Glastonbury really quick and talk to John. John, welcome to Season. How are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, we are doing great, sir. I am looking to hear what your recommendation is for us.
Well, my recommendation, a little shout-out to Hartford, because there's not a lot of places to eat in downtown Hartford anymore, but one of my favorites is Salute.
Okay.
In downtown Hartford. They have a bolognese that is just the bomb.
I love bolognese. It's kind of hard to mess that up. If you make a great one, you can build an entire restaurant off a delicious bolognese.
It's a great one. And they also have, which is also very low-cal, they have what they call their soon-to-be-famous garlic bread.
Health food.
Oh,
I love
it.
And there's nothing like soon to be famous.
That's right, because you're in at the bottom, working your way up already. I like that. That's good, John.
Exactly. I'm on the ground floor.
That's it. I love it, John. That sounds fantastic. Thanks for the recommendation. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
There goes John. Anybody who recommends bolognese and garlic bread, I'm in.
Oh, so
You
good.
can make a meal out of that garlic bread alone.
Oh, have you had it?
It's so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Salute is an institution. Everything they do is amazing.
It sounded almost like Leanne was falling down when she said that.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, it's so good."
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's
I love bread.
so
I love
good.
cheese.
I know. What's not to like about bread and cheese? You're listening to Seasoned live on Connecticut Public Radio. Our guest this hour is food reporter Leeanne Griffin. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more takeout recommendations from Leeanne. And you will take your calls and read more of your shout-outs from the Connecticut Public Instagram page. By the way, social media editor Meg Fitzgerald, thank you for gathering those. We appreciate you, Chica. I'm Marysol Castro.
I'm Chef Plum. We'll be right back.
We're back. Thank you so much for joining us. You're listening to Seasoned. I'm Marysol Castro.
And I'm Chef Plum.
We are live for our monthly call-in show with the best topic in the history of best topics.
Everyone has an opinion. Takeout food. Who doesn't want to talk about the delicious takeout food in our state?
Apparently, a lot of people do want to talk about it, especially our guest this hour. She is Leeanne Griffin. You've been reading her stories about Connecticut restaurants for more than a decade. She's a food and consumer reporter for Hearst Connecticut Media, and before that, she covered the food beat for the Hartford Courant. But more importantly, she's my new best friend because she knows all the places to get good takeout.
Fantastic. Leanne, if I could give you a town, could you tell me a favorite takeout place in it, or is that getting too specific?
I guess it depends on the region. Hartford County, yeah.
Okay, all right. What if we give you a genre?
Ooh.
Genres are good.
All right, so when I leave here, I've got some hungry boys waiting for me at home. Let's go Greek.
Oh, okay. This is perfect because this is on my list. My favorite place in Hartford County is Mykonos.
Ooh.
And it's on the Berlin Turnpike in Newington. And I've been to Greece a couple of times. This is the only place I can find around here that has real authentic stuff that isn't just like your average gyro and spanakopita. It's fried cheese, saganaki, and grape leaves and dips and meat platters. We'll go down there and we'll order this mixed grill platter for two, and then a whole bunch of appetizers and tzatziki and just feast. It's just I'm glad that was your first genre. Because I was hoping I could get to talk about them. I love that place.
Oh, good. See?
Absolutely.
We're already connecting.
I love anything fried. I mean, believe it or not, you look at this Adonis-like figure, you would never believe.
It's hard to avert my eyes from
Honestly,
your Adonis-like figure, I tell you what.
Fried cheese makes me so happy. And hey, you guys can call in and tell us what your favorite spots are. 888-720-9677. That's 888-720-WNPR. Give us a shout out. Tell us what your favorite takeout is. Like our friend Jordan, who's calling from Norfolk right now. He's also got a question for Leanne. Jordan, welcome to Seasoned. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to be on. I'll give a shout out to Pizzeria Marzano in Torrington. They do not make what I call New Haven style pizza, which is delicious. Hashtag modern pizza.
Hey.
But,
it's like you threw up a gang sign there or something.
They make Neapolitan style pizza like Roberta's in the city with the kind of yeasty, chewy crust.
Yeah.
Okay, Brooklyn.
So good. So the thing is, they have a Monday lunch special, $5 for a margarita pie. And these pies freeze beautifully. So I'd say about once a month, I have 3 teenagers. I go to pick up like 8 of these pies for $5 each, wrap them as half pies at home, freeze them, and they reheat perfectly in a toaster oven. Love it.
What a fantastic idea.
Tell us the name of this place again.
It's called Pizzeria Marzano in Torrington, and they actually promote in their menu that they sent their pizzaiola to Napoli to learn the secrets of dough making, and they really have a knack for building up that kind of fermented flavor in the dough. They must proof it 1 or 2 days or something like that.
Wow. Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
Jordan,
Yeah.
fantastic. Thank you so much. I tell you what, Well, I lost Jordan there. Oh, he had a question for Leanne, too. I apologize.
Shucks.
Jordan, call back if you can. Hey, listen, whenever you have a guy who can call in, talk about a great pizza, and then give you tips on how to have dinner the next night, I mean, Jordan's a champion.
The $5 pie.
Unbelievable, right? I would love to have a couple of those.
Yeah. While we're talking about pizza, Leanne, favorite pizza?
I have a lot of favorites, and I think if I had to pick my favorite New Haven one, it would be Pepe's because I can get it near me. I go to the Manchester one.
Perfect.
I really like Oakland Pizza, which is the South Windsor offshoot of Camille's Pizza in Tolland, and they have really nice thin crust pies, kind of gourmet. They have one with bacon and eggs. They have one with truffle honey and pistachio and ricotta and fancy stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a lot of I have favorites in different I have my local favorites. There's a place near me in East Windsor that makes a chicken broccoli Alfredo pie that is to die for. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Wow. That sounds delicious. I'm excited about that one. I mean, Alfredo sauce, chicken. I mean,
pistachios?
I'm in. Count me in.
Yeah, that was a different
Put it on the pizza, too. Let's do all of it. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, just throw it all together. Everything tastes good.
Unbelievable. Hey, also shout out on my Instagram page. I put out there for a shout out for favorite restaurants. And our friend Chef Dan Monroe wants to shout out Danny's Drive-In in Stratford, TD Vietnam in Stratford. He says the pho is amazing.
I love a good pho.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it.
Is it?
Yes, P-H-O.
Pho?
Is pho.
Well,
it's pho.
It's my accent. That's how I did say it. That's how I said it. It's just my accent.
That's what we're going with.
That's what it was. Let's go to Peter in Danbury. Peter, welcome to Season. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you doing?
We are doing fantastic. You've got a great recommendation for us. I know the restaurant you're about to say.
Yeah, in Newtown, it's Jewel of Amalia. The owner, Norbu, is a great guy. They do fantastic food there. Their momos are like you just woke up in Nepal, and the tendup soup is fantastic as well, and they have lots of vegetarian options.
I've eaten there several times.
Yeah, you could basically close your eyes and just land your finger on any part of the menu, and it's going to be great food.
I can co-sign because actually, when last time Chef and I were in the same space, we were taping our holiday special, our TV special, and he said, "This is where you got to go for takeout," and I went.
It was delicious, right?
It was so good.
They do a great job. Peter, what a great recommendation for sure.
Yeah, and there's another great place too in Warren, Connecticut, the Warren General Store. John there oversees everything, and he just makes great food.
Wow.
Love it.
And if you're lucky enough to get there on the day that he makes macaroons, you'll be in heaven. You and your family will be fighting over them.
All right.
So.
That's on my list. That might be dinner tonight for me. Thanks, Peter. We appreciate it. Leanne, you ever get down to Newtown or Danbury in that area to eat?
I will be, because that's part of the new coverage area. Tell me the name of the restaurant again.
Jewel of the Himalaya. It's awesome.
Okay.
What a great spot. Tracy is in West Hartford, and she's got a good recommendation for us, too. Tracy, welcome to Season.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. We're excited. You're about to bring it, I can tell.
I have been getting something that the Pond House Cafe is offering at Elizabeth Park. It's very reasonably priced. It's for one or two people. It's 5 meals, side dishes, dessert, a snack, and it's all pre-cooked. You just heat it up for the various nights. It's such a good deal, and it's really good food. The Pond House is wonderful.
So it's like a pre-made week's worth of dinners.
Yep.
What an amazing idea there, especially like I said, just all these restaurants having to make adjustments and change things. I mean, That's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And they're benefiting. I'm getting, great food already cooked, just heat it up, and for a week worth of planning, I don't have to worry about it. It's wonderful.
Love it. That's Pond House. You got to check it out. Thanks, Tracy. We appreciate it.
So good.
Thanks. Bye.
Leanne, I wonder if you can address this, because this brings up this good point about getting a takeout meal that you can provide for your whole family.
Yeah.
And how did you see that manifest itself in the restaurant world? Did that help or hinder, do you think, some of the restaurants?
I think it helped. I think the places that did really well with it were the places that could scale up with their meals. So if you got a taco platter for people that were doing taco platters, or a big thing of paella, or an Italian meal, a pasta dish with salad, bread, and meatballs or something like that, or pizzas, I think restaurants that were already set up for that did very well. And I think parents and families had a good experience with them, and had, like these callers have been saying, they've been saving their nights. They don't have to cook.
Right.
lots of leftovers. You can use it for another night. I think the restaurants that weren't set up for that found a way to figure it out because they knew that was probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, they have to figure something out. Hey, we've got a couple more minutes here. You guys can get your calls in now. Give us a shout. Tell us what your favorites when it comes to takeout are. Like our friend Jason, who's with us right now from Granby. Jason, welcome to Seasoned.
Hey, how are you guys?
We are doing fantastic.
So there's a new restaurant. Well, not a new restaurant. It's been around. It's called Grassroots, and they have both the ice cream place and their street food restaurant. And it is basically, as it says on their website, it celebrates the deep roots of America. They believe American food is a beautiful interweaving of many cultures, and American means that every cuisine can have an honored and accepted place at our table. So it's really rooted in the cultures of the family, and you can get dessert with their homemade ice cream that's right next door. Some very unusual flavors that most of the time run out before the end of the day, and there's a new one up there. So it's a great spot, and I strongly recommend their handheld. And my favorite is the Forito.
Not the Forito.
Forito.
A Forito. It's a Vietnamese burrito fusion.
Hey, and what town is that in?
Granby,
Connecticut. It's right in the center. So there's Grassroots. It's their ice cream place, and then their takeout food and small sit-in is called Street Food.
Man, Jason, another one that we are excited about. Thank you so much for joining us on Season and telling us about that gem. Leanne, our list is getting longer and longer here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would recommend Deep Roots.
You've had it.
Place. Oh, yeah.
That sounds amazing. Is it okay to have ice cream for dinner? That's okay, right?
We are adults.
Okay.
We can
I
start
think
with
they
ice cream.
encourage it.
Yes.
Listen, it's not a meal without dessert, so might as well start with it.
And some of these ice creams are so involved with ingredients that you get out of your pantry that it's almost like dinner.
Absolutely. Hey, Leanne, what's your favorite dessert place to go?
I actually really like Grassroots for ice cream. Not that far from where I live. It's actually if you go past Bradley Airport and on Route 20 and go all the way out that way. So if you are early for a flight or getting off a flight.
I'll tell you, listen, Leanne, you said that Newtown's one of your new coverage areas, and that's where I live, so I can't wait for you to try one of my favorite places to eat dessert first. Ferris Acres, some of the best ice cream on the planet.
Yeah.
Literally half a mile on the road from me, so I'm a lucky guy. But if you haven't been there, you got to check out Ferris Acres. Their ice cream is unbelievable.
To die for.
Unbelievable. John in Newington has something really fun to tell us about before we get out of here. John, welcome to Seasoned.
Hi there. There are a couple of places I would suggest. One of them being Salsas for Taquiros, which is on the Berlin Turnpike, right down the street from Mykonos that someone mentioned earlier. It was only opened in February of 2020, and I can't believe they still survived. But they're amazing. Their specialty tacos, I can't stop eating them. Their shrimp tempura tacos and their fish tacos are amazing and fresh.
Great fish tacos.
The other place I'd recommend are a winner. And the other place I'd recommend, which is next door to the infamous famous Goldbergers, is Five and Dime Canteen. And they're really only open for breakfast, and on weekends they're remarkable, but anytime you want a quick breakfast, it's just freshly made, natural ingredients, and really good people.
Fantastic.
Anytime you can end with really good people, that makes me happy. I'm checking that place out for sure, John. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Can't wait to see you out there soon, I hope.
Yes.
Eating out, that's for sure. Leanne, you ever been to those places?
Yes, they're owned by the same people, actually.
Man,
Look at that.
You have been everywhere.
No, Leanne is my new best friend.
Does she know that yet?
No, but that's
Okay.
fine. She'll be fine with it.
I'm cool with it.
We're gonna stamp our Connecticut passport. We're just gonna go county by county.
I love it. That's a great idea.
I want to give credence to our loyal followers who shouted out their favorite spots on Instagram. Kaza Marie said Sitar in New Haven, really good. Juliomana barbecue, probably the easiest to take out. The Cookhouse.
Oh yeah.
How could we forget the Cookhouse?
How could you possibly forget that? That's an icon.
And she also likes Taco Minacho in Meriden, Connecticut.
That sounds like a band. Hey, I think we should do a really, really quick speed round here on the phones. We've got Kim in Waterford. We got about 1 minute. Give it to us, Kim. What you got?
I would say the Flanders Fish House in East Lyme, the Recovery Room on Ocean Avenue, Philomena's, where Mike Bassetto is going to make you feel like family when you're not family, Ivy Simply Homemade to carry out, and finally Tony D's, where you
Oh my God.
going to walk in, but Frank Sinatra Jr. did actually walk in. And they all have amazing takeouts, and they've done great family dinners. Tony D's just did their fresh pasta shop. So if you want to make your own, Italian dinner, you can get the meatballs, the sausage, the pasta, and the sauce there. Take it home and make it up. But don't forget southeastern Connecticut. We're kind of the forgotten corner, and we have fabulous restaurants, fabulous dining, fabulous ocean. So come and visit.
Kim, you are preaching to the choir. What a great area. Tony D's, by the way, one of my favorite restaurants in Connecticut. They make literally everything from scratch. We did restaurant road trip there, and I was floored, blown away by that place.
Well, clearly the three of us have a lot of homework to do. We're just going to continue to eat our way through the state. Thank you so much for listening to Seasons. And Leeanne, thank you so much for joining us. It has been such a treat to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I think I learned a lot today, actually.
Hey.
I've got my list going. I've got lots of places to research. This is great.
We all learned a lot, and I can't wait for us to start eating our way across the state.
Absolutely. Leeanne Griffin is a food and consumer reporter for Hearst Connecticut Media. She's covered the food and restaurant beat in the state for more than a decade, previously for the Hartford Courant. But more importantly, she's going to add to her CV, Marysol's best friend.
Hey, that's a great title to have there, to be your best friend, right?
I love it.
Absolutely. Don't forget, takeout food doesn't mean you don't tip. That is for sure. Hey, Season is produced by Robyn, Doyon-Aitken, and Catie Talarski. Thanks also to Carmen Baskoff, who helped with the phones today. I'm Chef Plum.
And I'm Marysol Castro. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next week, everyone.